Greetings, fam. I want to welcome you to GFC Podcast, God Family Community, where we discuss the latest in news and society and pick things apart and analyze it so that we can learn from it and apply it to our lives. Today, I really wanted to come on here and talk about honoring the child. I know oftentimes we hear the saying for us to honor our parents, which is one of the main commandments. And part of this topic mostly came from the situation that took place with Kobe's parents. It's going on a month now that Kobe Bryant has passed away. And there were a lot of people that were analyzing and looking into the situation with his parents not being mentioned at his homegoing service. And whatever the reason was for his parents not being mentioned is something that we just don't know. And maybe later on in life it'll be mentioned why his parents weren't mentioned. But at the end of the day, we just don't know. Which, when it's all said and done, this is a whole nother discussion. But I think it worked in their favor how everything kind of happened. But mostly, there were a lot of people that were looking into the situation with him and his parents, Kobe Bryant and his parents, Pam and Joe Bryant, and saying how there wasn't a relationship with his parents once he became married to his wife Vanessa. And at the end of the day, we still don't know what took place, because that's their family, that's their business. And dealing with family, it could be a really complex situation. Sometimes it can be tough to talk about because things happen and you don't know why they happen. Sometimes things happen and it could be generational, or it could just be a situation in itself that takes place and people just go their separate ways. And that's why when dealing with family, it could be such a complex situation to deal with. But I really want us to know and learn that in order for a child to honor the parent has to honor the child. And in no shape, form, or fashion am I an advocate of someone sticking around their parents, whether it be a mom or dad, and being treated any kind of way. Just to say that this is my parent and I should be honoring them. Honoring them doesn't mean that you have to stick around and be abused physically, emotionally. They birthed you, and you can't take that away. They birthed you. They brought you into this world, in which there is a saying that, I brought you into this world, I could take you out whenever we would get in trouble with our parents. But that doesn't give them the right to treat you any kind of way. I think that we're living in a time where parents are not really honoring their children. They're not respecting their children. They're not taking the time to spend with their children. And it's really affecting the children. So a lot of times, a lot of parents, they emotionally neglect their children. And you see this happen with the rich a lot of the times. Where, it's money involved, but, they can't really physically, emotionally be there for their children. But be it as it may, what I'm seeing is a lot of parents, they're birthing their children and they're not spending any time with their children. And it's becoming a problem within our society. because now you have a lot of kids who just don't have any respect for other people. If you don't have respect for your parents, then you may not have respect for other people. And I don't see or understand why a parent could feel that they could disrespect or treat their child any kind of way, and that same type of energy not be put back, towards them. And it puts us all in a weird situation where if mistreatment happens, that we tend to possibly, argue with our parents or try and talk to them. That could be seen as, which I don't understand how that could be seen as disrespect, but in trying to talk with your parents. But in a lot of cases, you have parents who just feel like the child should just be quiet and not say anything, and that could be seen as disrespect. But I think that in order for a parent to be respected and loved and admired, you have to love and admire, your children. And so in looking at the Kobe Bryant and his parents' situation, the society was mentioning how he didn't have a great relationship with his parents. And majority of people were mentioning, well, and I hate to say this, but, that's why he is no longer here. That's why he passed the way that he did. Again, this is not coming from me. It's not for me to judge or say why he, how it is that he left out of this earth the way that he did by, disrespecting his parents. But, these were just some of the comments that I was looking into. And it was mentioning how, oh, well, you have to honor your parents, and that's that. But, a lot of times, and this is not, I'm not specifically talking about his situation. I'm just generally speaking. A lot of times, our parents, they don't do right by us. You have them physically abusing children, emotionally abusing children. And I will say that you do not have to take that type of treatment. I would say find you a best friend that you know of, and, form a relationship with them and their family, or you have a loved one, you're in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend relationship. Find people that, would treat you good and treat you with respect. Yeah, no doubt it hurts. It hurts really bad when you have a situation like that takes place when, you have a parent mistreating you, and it's like, well, geez, I thought that the Bible say, honor your parents. And then when you're put into this situation where you having to stand up for yourself, it puts you as a child, it really puts you in a very awkward situation, because that at the end of the day, you should be honoring your parents and you should be respecting them. And a lot of children, they do that, but only to be mistreated by their parents. And for the life of me, I don't understand that. I don't know if it's that, a lot of parents, they try and take advantage of their situation or their position as parents, and they try to use that honor thy parent thing as a weapon against their children. But, it's not good. And I would say as a child, if you have this taking place, within your family, I would say respect them from afar. Love and honor them and hold that in your heart. But, just stay away from them, because sometimes parents, they will push you into a position where you have to, you might come off a little disrespectful, and you have to, stand up for yourself. And then they could easily say, oh, well, you're disrespecting me or this or that. So what I would tell children that are in these situations is, separate yourself from them, but within your heart, your soul, your whole entire being, love and honor them, but know when to step away. Know when to separate yourself. Because even though it says honor thy parent, it also mentions not to provoke, your child. And it also mentions somewhere in the Bible where it says, when my parents forsake me, then God will take me. He will take me. So I just want to come on here and talk about that, and just let you all know that, if you're in a situation where, your parents are abusing you, if the situation is toxic, they're lying on you, they're turning things around, making it seem like you're a disrespectful child, and and you just know that you just do not feel good. It's okay to separate yourself. It's okay. You do not have to take emotional abuse. You don't have to take physical abuse. Okay? Because you are worthy. And granted, they brought you into this world, and you could be thankful of that, but you could be thankful from afar. Okay? And a lesson that it hurts, it hurts, but a lesson that you can learn from that is to not treat your child the way that your parents may have treated you. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. This is GFC Podcast, God, Family, Community.